Fight fans, join. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event. Fight fans worldwide, you tuned into the #1 undisputed boxing podcast today. This is the Boxing Breakdown. Now, your heavy-handed, hard-hitting host, Mark Roxy.
What's up, and welcome to another edition of the Boxing Breakdown. I'm your host, Mark Roxy, and I am here with my partner in crime, Mr. Harold Hunt.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good,
Good
Harold.
to see you again. Good to see you.
How are you, brother?
I'm happy, man. Ready to roll, boy.
I know you are, man. I know you are. I am too. And you know what? We got an action-packed podcast to talk about. We've got so much stuff to talk about, and I am so excited to be with you. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, thanks for being with us. And if you are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and the notifications. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And so Harold, we got some stuff to talk about in boxing, man. Let's start off, man. You called me in a rage. You had so much you wanted to say about, the last couple of weeks. We've been off for, the holidays, and New Year's has come and gone, and here we are in 2024. And, we, last year, we pushed our boxing podcast community up by 12%, Harold. We have grown our followers by 12%, and that's a real 12%, nice and big and robust. And yeah, man, I'm looking for, maybe another 12% this year. It's going to be pretty awesome. And let's talk about Tony Weeks, man. Very seldom do we talk about these, Hall of Fame referees, or soon to be Hall of Fame referees, that actually end up popping up in boxing news, and that's exactly what we're talking about right now. So what you got on this subject, Harold?
Well, there's two sides of this whole situation. You have the public sees one way, and us professionals, we see it another way, and it's a whole different situation. But for the fight fans, of course, you've seen this, or you have not seen it. 20 Weeks stopped the fight because the other gentleman was getting hit, and to me, he wasn't getting hit clean. But I'm not a referee, and the fight was stopped. I think he may get some heat from it from people who don't really know how things really work in that situation, and that's the public. And the public does not listen to logic when it comes to this. So they're spewing venom at him right now.
Yeah,
but Mark has a different understanding, as I do now, with the proper understanding that it is warranted to a point. So right now, he's the bad guy.
Well, I mean, Harold, you said a couple of things there in your intro there. Number one, I don't think that Tony Weeks is the bad guy. I think he's just a good ref. I think he did what
in the public's eye, he's a bad guy. In the public's eye, he's a bad guy right now.
Yeah. Well,
he stopped it too early. That's where they are right now.
No,
logic is not registering. Okay.
The public. The thing about when you talk about refs and officials, you can look at it from both sides, and I think the boxing community has to know that it doesn't really matter what the fans think. If you're a judge or you're an official, your concern is not with the audience, or the fans. Your concern is you have one paramount concern, and that is the safety and well-being of the fighters in the ring. And that is the number one concern as a ref. And it's just, it's very, very clear cut that way. And I think good referees, and Tony Weeks certainly would be considered a good referee, I think you have to understand that his call, the way I see it, his call was made based on, a fighter not defending themselves and receiving, I believe it was over 10 blows unanswered. And I think you have to, at that point, wonder what's happening to, said fighter in the ring. And does this warrant a stoppage? If the fighter's not fighting back, the referee has two choices: let the fight continue or stop it.
Okay. Fans drive the sport. It only is there because the fans have a taste for it.
Yeah.
If they want to say that they feel like it was stopped incorrectly, what have you, let the fans have it. They're the ones making this commerce go around.
Right.
I'm not saying that what they're saying is correct or whatever,
right.
But it is still a show.
Yes.
And I'm not saying compromise anyone's health for it, but if the fans want to say that he's trash right now, that's what they get. They have the auspices to do so.
Right.
But
I don't think
if you get the information as you go along and what have you, and then right now, and it's fun to hate. He's a bad guy, because that's what the public is doing. The boxing public is.
Right.
So your point is on point, noble, and all that. But right now, the fans are still like, I don't care.
Right. No, I mean, I don't know what to say at that point.
That's the part I'm coming to you with. The fans I'm pissed. I don't like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fans are pissed regardless, no matter what happens.
Let them be pissed. Let them enjoy the situation.
Fans, listen, Harold, fans, we know this. Anybody who's in boxing know fans are fickle, man. Fans
That's
are
the
fickle.
beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, but
it's fun to be a fan. You're fanatical, right? Is that fanatical?
Virgil Ortiz was he had an interview after the fight, and they asked him. They said, what did you think of the stoppage? Obviously, Virgil Ortiz would be happy to get a knockout, a knockout on his return into the boxing.
Yeah.
He needed that. He needed a knockout. So at the end of the day, he had him where he wanted him. There was nothing good that was going to come after that. If you've been in this sport and you watched it long enough, you see that position of the fighter up against the ropes, covering up like that. It's not going to end very good after that.
He needed the optics. He needed that boy to drop like he needed the optics.
Yeah, he did. So you can make an argument that for Virgil Ortiz, the premature stoppage, if you want to call it a premature stoppage, was actually, kind of didn't help Virgil Ortiz, but everybody that was in that arena and anybody that watched the fight understood that, or they should understand if they know boxing.
Now he got to fight in March. What, 3 months?
Yeah.
They're throwing him in right away because he didn't get any work.
Right. Well, that's how you want it. I mean, that's like a Tony, a James Toney situation, man. Back in the day, James Toney used to fight 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times a year. Now.
But how did he look to you? Yeah. No, I want to go. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay, Harold. That's okay. I thought he looked good. I mean, I thought he looked solid. You could tell he had a good camp. I don't think he needed to really, it wasn't a fight that was going to lift him up to another level, or you're going to see him pull things out that you normally wouldn't see. It was a pretty basic fight, and he looked great in the fight. And so from that standpoint, again, I just wanted to really comment on the, for those of you that are listening in and the people that are tuning into the Boxing Breakdown that maybe are casual fans that don't follow boxing or not, fully abreast of the rule book. The fact is that, referees and judges and officials and supervisors and doctors are all trained with one thing in mind, and that is that the most important thing in that squared circle is the safety and health and the well-being of the fighters that are putting their lives on the line. So I would rather stop, and this is a very, very famous quote in boxing official land. I would rather stop one fight too soon than one fight too late. So, you could say whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, it's for those fans that are listening in, just remember that for your entertainment, fighters are putting their lives on the line.
Yes.
They are sometimes not able to go home to their families the way that they came. And in some situations, they don't ever return. And, the damage and the again, one knockout can end your career. One knockout can take 5-6 fights out of you. You cannot fault a judge for stopping a fight too soon. You can fault a judge for stopping a fight too late. Okay? So that's just, I'd rather be in a position that, yell at me, say whatever you want. I stopped the fight too soon. Hey, I get it. But
See,
I
you're
saw what I
championing
saw.
that. Yeah, you're championing that trainer side of utter defiance against the fans. But I think what you're saying is valid. It's an underlying thing that we want to take care of. I've been on that side. I am on that side. I've been an inspector and a judge and whatever. And what do they call it?
Supervisor.
Supervisor. So I think it's great that the fans get my side, not my side, but I represent the fan side. Now I like what Tony Weeks did. He did it properly, no doubt. But I'm just saying, I'm pundit for the fans right now. But I get it. I'm with you on that, of course. But it's just interesting to have a different opinion on it. But this is a podcast that we educate. What's next?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Harold. And you did a great job at presenting that side of the story and kind of, taking the fan side view. And that's really, really great, for the fans to hear both sides there. And, what do you think? You guys listening in, leave your comments in the bottom down there, and you certainly can respond to us on Facebook. You can join us there and on YouTube as well. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this guy Barbosa, man. Barbosa at 40 gets the big KO. Harold, drop it.
Tony Weeks again was in a situation with Barbosa and Rolly, and it seemed that in that case it was stopped prematurely, but it wasn't. And he was the referee for this one. Now, this went the other way for Barbosa. As far as Barbosa is concerned, visually he may look a little older or whatever, but his skill set is so on point. His opponent just stepped right into the power zone and was taken out. It was very easy for him to do so. He was setting it up the whole time. He hit him with a kind of a left hook earlier in that round that kind of moved him around a little bit. So he saw that he could land it. And then the very next chance he landed it, it was the one that started the downfall. So it was just a case of maturity, experience, and power that was on display, and it was well received. The justification, behind it was great.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, what I want to talk about here, because, everybody saw the fight. We can just, glance on this topic a little bit, but I just think it's quite miraculous that a 40-year-old underdog comes into the ring and scores that kind of a KO for his life and for his career. We talk about this all the time, how one punch can just change the trajectory of your entire career. One punch. And I think so many boxers out there, people don't understand why boxers do what they do, but they talk about this boxers, a puncher's chance, if you will, right? This is a perfect example of a guy who comes in the ring, not really expected to win because he wasn't the favorite, I don't believe. And,
But his knockout ratio was high. He
yeah.
always gets them out. He only lost twice. He got 23 knockouts. He's a legitimate power puncher. And then, as they say, what? Power is the last to...
It is the last thing to go, for sure. And with a guy like that, a solid fighter like that, you you don't know what to expect. I think it's a must-see TV for sure. And I think there's going to be a lot more for him, a lot more opportunities for him to, to put on display his work because he did such an amazing job.
And cash in as you... he at least got 2 good fights with good numbers. Win or lose.
No doubt. And, with a KO like that, at 40 years old, just the fact that he's 40, you know how many older men and, blue collar, white collar folks are going to come out and see this guy just for the fact that he's, 40 years old and he's just
Ladies too.
laying people out. Yes. He's like an anomaly. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed by how he looks. I'm impressed by how he works, how he punches, and the results. It's just very impressive.
I mean, his face is what it is, but his movement in the ring with the Rolly fight, I wasn't like he's old man and all. I didn't see all that. I just saw that, he was being, I didn't see, I wasn't swayed by the cosmetics at all. And this time I was really more impressed because he just ran this boy right into it.
Yeah, he really did. And, it's interesting. This guy has don't get mad at me, Barbosa, okay? Don't come after me, all right? But you do have a face that only a mother can love. I mean, you do, bro. You are mean.
This is 24. Bro. You guys embrace all.
No, but he's a mean looking dude, bro. You would not want to listen. Could you imagine being in the ring with him? He's a mean looking dude, man. That's all I'm saying. He's got that pit bull. Like, that's a face only a mother can love. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because when he broke into a smile, it was quite a departure from his, his game face.
Yeah.
But he's been through a lot, though, dude. We don't want to get all sentimental and crap. But, hey, he got restitution, didn't he? Didn't he get it?
Gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. We live in a great country, don't we? We live in a great country. That the guy can do that, come on, man.
To quote one of the greatest promoters, only in America.
Only in America. Yes, Mr. Don King. Absolutely. What's up, Don King? All right, so let's move on, Harold. Let's move on to this topic. So I don't know what you guys are thinking or what your feeling is about this, but I saw the last fight with Wilder, and I just want to know what you think. Do you think he's lost his drive? You think Wilder's lost it? What do you think, Harold?
Wilder is his age is getting up there. We're not saying he's old, but he's done very well financially. I mean, to the point where the motivation is really, really tough because he didn't come into boxing as a purist. He kind of fell into it out of necessity. Of course, he loves it without all his heart now, but he's easily to move on to something else because that wasn't, the end all to be all. His end all to be all was to play for the football team, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Right.
I believe he was a tight end, and he was of note. So that was his thing, and it moved to something else. But his timing, to me, he kept looking to drop that right hand. And De La Hoya lost his timing when he fought Floyd. The timing was gone. And after that fight, De La Hoya never had any timing. I don't know if he won or lost a couple more fights. I don't know what happened after that, but his timing was off after that. He never regained that timing. And that's what I saw with Wilder.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't disagree with that at all. I mean, I think that Wilder, I don't think I've ever seen a performance like that from Wilder. I've seen some sloppiness, but that particular performance was just um, such a bad display of boxing. And it, in the gyms, in a lot of the gyms, some of what I've been hearing at the gyms that I frequent are, people, fighters, saying things like, "Oh man, like I thought he threw the fight. I felt like he wasn't even in it. Like he didn't really even want to be there. What do you think, Mark?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't even know what to say. Like I don't even know what to say because, you know, why do you even fight if you're gonna, if you're gonna be in there and you're not gonna, you know, I don't know, man. I really don't. You
He went
know?
there to fight. He was looking forward to the Joshua fight. He enjoyed the travel. He enjoyed all of that. I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't know the trigger wasn't going to be on point until he got in the ring himself because his training was good. His move was good. He had a fight already lined up with Joshua. I mean, he had it going on. He didn't have any issues, just that his body, for whatever reason, his timing was off. So I don't think he had any other clandestine type of attitude where, I don't want to be here and all that. I think he really came to knock that boy out and see if he could continue, the work. But this wasn't his night.
Yeah.
And he looked
No.
for it, Mark. How did he look for it? Tell everybody how he looked for it. How desperately he looked for that.
What do you mean? Explain
When
it.
he was looking to drop that right hand, he just kept looking at it and looking at it, and he just couldn't release it. I saw 6, 7 opportunities to drop that thing clean, and he just didn't pull the trigger. And it was frustrating to me how hard he was looking for it, and when it
Well,
appeared, he
hey,
couldn't.
I don't
And
think
the other fighter understood the situation and tried to stay out the way and did
yo,
a good job
Harold,
at that.
Harold, we got our boy Indio from Indio's Boxing is tuning into the podcast because
What did he say? What did he say?
we're gonna talk about his son because his son Jonathan Rodriguez is we're gonna be chopping that up next actually. So stay tuned and maybe we can get you on Indio,
Let's do
so we
that
can
now.
hear from you. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get him a link to see if he wants to jump
Yeah,
on, but
jump on now. I
um,
mean,
I
that's
don't
the
know if
next
my
great one, right, Mark? Did you work with him?
that is the next great one. You got that right. Yeah.
Okay, well, until you get him in there, let's run down the Joshua thing. Okay, Joshua,
So I was just gonna say that I don't
I
really
got a
think
whole
that.
story about that.
Well, back to Wilder, man, because I just
Okay,
want to
okay,
say
okay.
I didn't see what you saw. I kind of saw Harold, a fighter that really didn't want to fight, and a guy who wasn't skilled, wasn't prepared. Like his punches looked like he had not trained at all. You know, what do you
At
think?
all,
I
at
mean,
all?
no, I felt like he looked like he hadn't trained at all, Harold. What do you think?
Well, his physique was fine. I thought his when he did fight, it was fine. I just thought that right hand trigger was just off. I didn't see anything else he hasn't done before.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I just didn't see a right hand. He was slapping with it. He was slapping with it. No, there was never a right hand that came straight out the chute. Like from here, straight out the chute. There was never a right hand that ever came out of the chute. So his punches were sloppy. They appeared like they weren't actually rotating. There was no mechanic to the punch. So as a trainer, when you see a fighter that's fighting like that, the trainer's out of shape. The fighter's out of shape. It's okay. It's okay, but not when you're in a fight like that. And that's why I think that's why a lot of the guys in the gyms, were kind of saying what they were saying because I really don't think that. Um,
that he trained. So Well, of course, Wilder calls his own shots, so he calls all shots.
Yeah.
And any engagement from anybody in his entourage is tempered and by him.
Well,
And enough said. I want to talk about AJ.
okay, let's go.
All right. The moment AJ knew that didn't have to fight Wilder, he mentally went back to the AJ we love. Because to me, he always knew if he getting there with Wilder and Wilder's doing what he did in the past, he's out of there. And
Yeah.
that was always in trepidation in AJ's mind. However, with Wilder losing, he never has to get in the ring with Wilder, nor would the public request it, nor would it carry any water at no time. That thorn in his mental psyche has been removed. And you saw it in that fight. He
Yeah.
was a total different type dude, knowing he didn't have to go through water in no time. Man, this dude's liable to be a heavyweight champion again. He liable to go beat Fury because he had this tick. He's not. He only person he had a tick with was Wilder. He didn't have a tick with Fury. He doesn't have a tick with none of them dudes. He doesn't even have a tick with Usyk.
Right.
And I am happy that mentally he is sound again, and it was clear evidence.
Yeah, man, I can't deny that. I cannot deny anything you just said because it really, it's interesting to see where Joshua is going to go next,
To the
I
top,
mean,
man. To the
yeah,
top.
well, we're going to have to see. There's some guys that I've been looking at that look like they're going to give Joshua a little run for his money, but I don't know if those fights will ever be made. But there's some guys in the pipeline that I've been looking at for quite a while that I, kind of scratching my head at. Wow, these guys are really good. So
Well,
we're
he's
gonna
not
have
going
to.
to touch them. He's going to touch the ones that are. He's not going to touch them.
Yeah,
Why? But
yeah,
I'm talking about if he can keep in the mix. But I'm just saying mentally he's on point. That's all I'm saying. And just to
no,
see him with that mental firmness is good to see.
mentally, he's definitely sharp. There's no
Now,
question. He's right. Yeah, he's right in the window now. There's no mental, illness. There's no mental uh, inaccuracy. He's definitely focused on what he's trying to do. He knows what the job is. He knows what he has to do to get where he wants to go, and that's what's
uh-oh,
up. Hey. So we're gonna
Jonathan Rodriguez.
yeah, man, we're gonna take a quick little departure here, man, because we
Boy,
got
I saw
Jonathan.
you. I saw you, boy. I saw you out there. I
Yeah,
saw you. I saw you. I
oh,
see
Thank you,
let's see,
thank you,
let's
I
see
watched
what
that
we
fight about
got.
3 times.
thank you. I
Yo,
appreciate that.
And I didn't even
What's
know
up,
Mark was
guys?
working with you. I didn't even know we were just talking. He said, "Well, that's my guy." I
ah.
said, "What you teach him?" I said, "What you teach him?" And he said he taught you something about coming up, whatever he said. But he was very clean on what he taught you, and you displayed that. So that's good stuff, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
No, listen. This kid. First of all, for those of you tuning in, welcome to the broadcast. Jonathan
Yeah,
Rodriguez,
yeah,
Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, from Puerto
yeah.
Rico, who's the WBA champion, and this is our guy. He's here right now. It's a pleasure to have you on the Boxing Breakdown, bro.
Yes.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Actually, the pleasure's all mine. Being here.
Yo, listen, I would have done a whole. I actually want to for the fans. I do want to come back and have you on at a future date too, because I want people to really know who you are from the beginning. Like I know you, right? So for
Yeah.
full disclosure, anybody who's watching the Boxing Breakdown, this is my guy, right? This is spam for me, right? So, you know, just watching you elevate and watching you go to where you're going and what you have accomplished and from the amateurs is just astounding, and to be a part of it, to be a small part of it, and just to be uh, you know, with you and have the opportunity to have worked with you is a pleasure of mine. But more importantly, to watch where you're going and where you and your pops have, the struggles and all of the challenges that the team has gone through over the years, and to see where you're elevating to is absolutely astounding, and it's beautiful, and it's amazing. And I just wondered, I mean, obviously I have that passion for you, but what are your feelings about what's going on, man?
To be honest, like right now it seems like surreal, everything I've accomplished in the pros, because in the amateurs I didn't really accomplish anything like that. The only thing I got in the amateurs is state Golden Glove champion. That's about it. But
Yeah.
in the pros, like everything I've accomplished, to winning the silver WBC bantamweight title, to becoming the number 4 in the world in the WBA, after beating Kalia Fight, to get the WBA Intercontinental Championship. Just, everything I didn't accomplish in only 5 years, because I just hit 5 years. And now I'm in a final world title eliminator, my first 12 rounder. I'm basically jumping from 6 rounds to 12 rounds, because I've only been 8 rounds once, and I've never been to 10 rounds. So it's just a lot, It's just a lot. It seems so surreal. Like, I'm just glad I'm doing everything I'm doing. And along with you and my dad too, because I did get to work with you a few times too, and I've actually been telling you to come back too, uh, to pass through it. As you can see, we was on the phone after my last fight and everything, and I told you. But it's just like I said, it just seems so surreal. Everything
Yeah.
I have accomplished in only just 5 years.
Yeah, man. And you got a fan-friendly style, boy. I like your style. I mean, a knockout is imminent, or the skill set is imminent. You're exciting to watch. You're fun to watch. You can win, but you're fun to watch. And I appreciate that just from my
Thank you.
standpoint. And I don't know you other than you're the champion, but when I have seen you, I enjoy your work, man. I mean, you're two-handed, and you got it on. Hey, man, I just like the way you fight, man. You're fun to watch, man.
Thank
And
you.
for you to move from to 12, I think your style obviously can handle that easily. So
Listen, come on, come on. First of all, a couple things, okay? The number one is I will be back. For those of you that don't know, I was involved in a flood a couple years back, and pretty much my entire business was destroyed. I spent the last 2 years, 2.5 years, rebuilding my operations from the ground up. And what it took me 28 years to do, I've done in 2 years. And so I've been like so focused on that and trying to get that right. Jonathan's right. The last fight we did was that one. The last fight we did together was the fight in Top
At
Rank
the
at
yeah,
the
the MGM.
MGM. But I've been at the camp, and I've been at the gym training you, and being with you over the years. And I do intend on getting back there. So do listen. Just know, just know that I'm with you. I was there a couple months ago for your a couple of sparring sessions you had just prior to the fight.
Yeah,
It was like a week.
that was like the farewell training.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was the last sparring before we shut down camp, and I was there, and you were blazing, and we had the conversation. We talked about what we talked about, and you know you had been well prepared. Your father, at the helm of your camp. Those of you that don't know Indio Rodriguez, you should know him, but he's a wonderful trainer, and more importantly, an amazing dad. And he had you well tuned up for that fight, and
yeah,
you
Mark,
you know
you are excited.
yeah
That boy right there said, "I want you to come back." Boy, look at you just gushing.
it
no,
was
I mean,
it was like
You
this last
gushing, you
camp.
gushing. I don't care. You gushing, you gushing.
this last camp, it was a hard camp, and I was glad to see him, in the last sparring, and
Uh,
yeah, it's just been
I
a
can
lot of hard,
I can feel
hard
you
work.
guys bond. I can feel your bond. I can feel your
Yeah,
bond.
we love
it's
each
been a
other.
lot of hard work with my uncle Louis Melendez, Indio, my dad and everything, and hey, when
No,
I seen him walk through the door, I was like, hold on, no way.
yeah, no,
No,
no.
yeah,
I'm coming.
that's
Listen,
that.
all your father has to do is call me and tell me when he needs me there, and I'm there.
Uh,
He knows when he
Yeah,
calls me, I'm there. But if he doesn't call me, it's because I know he's got it under control. But when he calls me, and he knows that, and if he's not there, he's going to listen to this back, and he knows where to find me. He knows when he needs me, I'm there. You all you got to
okay,
do is call, bro.
absolutely.
okay. Champion. I got a question. All right. How did you? I mean, how did you apply what you needed to do in that fight? Did you have a particular game plan, or did you want to see what he
Um,
had, or you knew you were just superior, and whatever he had, that you would
no,
solve it?
cause to be honest with you, me and my uncle Louis and Indio, we sat down and we started watching tape. And I didn't watch that man like even before the fight even was brought up. I used to watch the fight with him and Roman Gonzalez a lot. I used to watch it a lot, because I like Chocolatito. Like I like
Mhm.
watching them fight. So I used to watch that fight a lot between both of them. And then when the name came up, I was like, "Yo, take it." Like I didn't even think of it twice. I was just like, "Yo, take the fight." I
Yeah.
fight. And then my dad was telling me like, "Yo, this isn't just a fight. We're talking about a former world champion and the 2008 Olympian." I was like, "Yeah, I get that, but take the fight." Like, like whatever. Like I just seen it as like he done already been at the top. It's my turn now. So going into that fight, just me knowing like his background and everything, his caliber of a fighter, because I'm not gonna lie, he's a great fighter. And I didn't take anything away from him. I expected to go the whole 10 rounds.
Really?
Yeah, like I got ready all around the board. I could have probably did 12 rounds that night.
Did he surprise you in anything that he did that, of course, you handled easily? Anything he did that was kind of that surprised you,
He
whether it
just
be a switch in stance or a stamp, whatever it was. What was it, or not?
he just kept getting back up. Like he showed like a true warrior's heart. Like he kept getting back up. And in between one of those exchanges that we had, he threw a hook. I didn't think of anything, but just the fact that he was hurt and he was still letting his hands go as he was hurt. I was like, oh, okay, so now I gotta watch it. But it wasn't soon after that I was able to get him out of there. But like any other champion, he deserves his respect.
Yes.
He had a great career. I knew going into that fight, fighting a world champion is no easy task. No matter how easy I made it seem, it was more to what you guys saw. It was way more than just that. It was um my mental. I had to get ready for that. Mentally, I said yeah to the fight right away, but it like we got to be honest here. Like he was a world champion, so not that I had my doubts, but I was like, all right, I'm in a fight now. Like this is it.
Boy, that resume is fat now, boy. Ooh, it's gonna get fatter and fatter and
Hey,
fatter.
Well, no, and
as long as I keep my head down, just let God do what He does.
Yeah,
I could
that's the man right there.
wherever. Yeah,
well,
Yeah.
and
absolutely.
Harold, the one thing about Jonathan, and for those of you tuning in, one of the things that has always struck me about Jonathan, it's not just this particular fight and the one he just had, uh, the temperament and the humbleness and the attention to God is actually has been there from day one. That's not new. That's not, oh, I'm a world champion and now I'm this. This is how this young man's been from the very beginning, and I've had the pleasure of watching it. So I think for those of you that are tuning in, what you want to do is you want to take a look at Jonathan Rodriguez and his trajectory And, you know, that's why I said I want to do a podcast just about you and your life and how you got where you got, and where you are today is a byproduct of all the struggles and everything you've been through your entire life. And the world's gonna know about that for sure, because I know DAZN and the folks at Matchroom and Eddie Hearn are going to unfold that as the coming months and years come. But you know, the thing is that this is not uh, a person that just, you know, appears to be, you know, on that trajectory. This is someone who's grind in the gym every single day of every single month, even on Christmas Day, even on Thanksgiving morning, even on every day in the gym. And that's what it takes, folks, if you want to be a world champion. And so let's just turn our attention really quickly here,
Well, I want to
Jonathan,
say something
to
fun because you all serious about his training and his dedication, dude. When you go, what car? What car you gonna buy?
uh,
Which one? What you
I don't
looking
know.
at?
I'm really not looking like into that much, you know, like whatever takes me from A to B. You know, I wanna invest my money to be smart with it. You
yes,
know,
See, Mark likes that, but see,
yes.
I know you didn't put up internet and you said, I could,
No,
ooh.
listen.
I'm sorry to
Enjoy
say
your.
that you might be wrong on that one. That I have really haven't, you know, just looked into anything like that. Like even as far as jewelry and all that,
No,
just look, don't have anything, you know.
Yes,
no,
but
Like
asshole.
the
I'm
car
just,
is
you know,
nice though. The car is just you
no,
just
yeah,
ride.
it
It's
is,
not
but
bling
it
bling.
is,
It's I accomplished this. You know.
yeah, it is, but it's not my priority right now, you know.
I know.
Uh,
I
you know
want to hear
what?
you say
I'm gonna
Lamborghini or something.
no. I'm gonna tell you my priority right now. The people that help me in the gym, right? Indio, my dad, Luis Melendez, right? Nelson Perez, even Coach Mark. I gotta throw him in there. And you know, as far as my mom and everything else, before I even start buying those luxury cars and like, you know, the jewelry and all that type of stuff, I want to be able to retire them. You know, like they did so much for me. Now, it's not that I need to, but I want to do for them. That's
Well,
my
look at that
priority.
character. Look at that character, boy. You got that character, boy. Them Porsches and them Lamborghinis don't see you don't see them right now, and I hear you.
Uh,
That's
No.
character.
listen,
As long
listen,
as
and
I
it,
take care of mine, as long as I take care of mine, that's gonna come after. You know, I just gotta,
Okay.
like I said, I just gotta stay grounded. You know, and God, you know, I always, you know, everything I have, everything I've done is all because of God. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm like I stay saying that
amen.
no matter what it
Yeah,
is. So
but God did say you can have a cattle on 1,000 hills, homeboy, and there's a Lamborghini up there for you somewhere,
no,
so it's
it
all
is.
good.
It is. That's why I'm not worried about it right now. So whatever He wants from me, He already has it. You know, so I just, like I said, you know, I just want to take care of mine first. You know,
All
Coach
right, all right.
Nelson, my mom, everybody. You know, before I even start doing anything like that, because you know, it's only right. It's only right. They did so
And
much for me. If you read, like Mark can tell you, if you read my story, if you see where I come from, like it's it's crazy. Like I didn't even think I'd be where I'm at this soon. I never even pictured it. But you know, God already had it written.
man, your next two fights will be very comfortable for you, I'm sure, on the financial end, because you are the champion, dog. I'm
Yo,
loving it. I'm
yo.
loving
So
it.
here's the thing. Like we have
All
to
right, all
talk
right.
about this. We have to talk about this upcoming fight between Jonathan Rodriguez and Antonio Vargas, which is in the shoot, ready to
Oh
go.
yeah,
That
back to
fight is
seriousness.
happening in Orlando, Florida, on February. What's the date?
24th.
Where? At the crib?
February.
Yeah.
Yes, February
Yeah, I'll be
24th.
there for that.
Yep.
Nice.
And it's going to be a an amazing fight. And so, Jonathan, what are you, if anything, that you can share with us on the program, which might be minimal?
Yes, should be.
Are you doing to prepare for this, Antonio Vargas?
Um, you know, like you said, you know, it's gonna be minimal. I'm not gonna say it too much. but which you should already know by now. So so
I
um,
already know.
it's just basically me and my my training mate, Tanya Teasy, like he's pushing me to levels to I never thought, I I could get to, as far as like training, running, and all that type of stuff. We done been implementing a lot more, um, like a lot more strength and conditioning. You know, we've been up in the run. Like today, I just did 4 miles in like 26 minutes,
Wow.
and just like doing like changing little things here and there, not changing much because what I've been doing, it's been working, but not changing, but just adding more.
Yes. Yes.
And not only does it help me, just Tanji training right next to me, pushing me to my limits. It only helps him too because he sees how hard I'm working, so he's gonna work even like try to work even harder. So it just pushes both of us to our limits, and just as long as we keep doing that, sky's the limit.
Have you any
Our rookies talent every time.
have you any injuries? Did you come out of that pretty clean there?
My last fight.
Yeah. Any injuries, hand, anything like that?
Nah, I hate to say it, but I only got hit like once. So I just don't like saying it because it makes me feel like I'm bragging. I'm not bragging. It's just
No.
No,
Hit or
that's you know what? That's why you get trained the way you're trained, because for those of you tuning in, man, boxing, those of you that are boxers, this. The art of boxing is to hit and not
hit
get
and not
hit.
be
So
hit.
when you
Yep.
come out with a score, when you come out with a 99% ratio of not being hit, that's pretty good. You can't,
Yes.
it's not going to get much better than that. And for Jonathan, that's remarkable to be in it with a former world champion, and for that to have occurred. And the other thing I wanted to say is that this kid Tonje Teasley that Jonathan is talking about is another one that you guys really need to pay attention to, because he's another one coming up the ranks that's also going to achieve a very, very high level in the sport, if not world champion. And so I'm excited for what you guys are doing, and I'm excited for the team, and I'm looking forward to getting up to the gym. I am going to come up to the gym, especially since you just invited me. Even though I'll wait for Poppy to call me, you tell
he
your
told you you
pops.
don't even gotta call. You could
I
just
know.
show up.
I know. I got to just show up. That's what I got to do. So I'm going to just show up. I'm going to be up there, and I'm going to come and see you, and, throw my 2 cents into the camp. And, I'm excited for the fight. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you. And, this is more than just an interview. This is like, if you do not know Jonathan Rodriguez, you need to know who he is, and you need to get that fight that's coming up with Antonio Vargas and Jonathan Rodriguez. That is going to be
Yes.
an amazing fight. You do
Yeah.
not want to miss it. February 24th at the Royal Caribbean, or whatever, it's Royal Caribbean in Orlando, Florida. It's on the zone. It's going to be a great matchup. I think it's
Yes.
on the Berlanga undercard, right?
It is. It is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
If I'm not
the
yeah.
mistaken, it's supposed to be like the co-main event of that.
yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So great. So
Oh man,
great.
this is an honor for me, homeboy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No, it's an honor for me to be here. And
Yeah.
not only is it just like a title eliminated, it's a final title eliminated. So the winner of this fight is gonna go over to Japan to fight for the world title against Takuma Inoue.
You heard?
I heard.
You
I
heard?
heard.
You heard?
I
That's what
heard.
that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing.
Ooh.
So
Sky's
excited,
the limit. Sky's the
right?
limit. Yup.
Sky's the limit. So, Jonathan, thank you so much for being on the broadcast today. And we're gonna have you on again, and you're gonna see me in camp. And tell the family I said I love them. Tell everybody in the gym I said hello, and I will see you guys very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me here.
You're
All right,
you're so
Jonathan.
welcome,
Take
Johnson.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Nice to meet you too. God
Yes,
bless.
Harold Hunt. That's me. That's right. Okay. See you when I see you in Tampa.
Well,
I'll be there.
all right.
I mean, yeah, that's where I'll be. The Royal Caribbean, right?
It's in
Yeah,
Orlando.
in
Yep.
Orlando.
Orlando. My bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
All
Bye
right, I'll
bye,
see ya.
Jonathan.
All
Peace.
Bye.
right. Bye.
Yeah,
That was
man. How
good,
about
Mark. Man, you brought
yeah,
on a
bro?
champion, dog. Just slid him up all in here. He's
Yeah,
looking good,
he's
feeling good.
amazing talent, a great young man, and his father is one of my dear friends, and we're like family, and they're just outstanding people, and nothing but success, and I just wish the world for them,
Okay, you gonna move on right quick, or you wanna
Yeah,
just?
yeah, man.
All
Well,
right.
it's right.
Well,
We're right
uh,
about we're at Big Baby, man. What's
Big
up with Big
Baby.
Baby? Yeah.
Okay. As we all know, Big Baby Miller, fought in with Wilder and those guys overseas at that card there. It was a great card. He didn't win, but he fought very well. He really carried the press conferences. Uh, uh, he really did a great job at the weigh-ins, the press conferences, the before the fight, the humbleness after the fight.
Yeah.
He was very noble in his entire endeavor there, even in a loss, no doubt about it. So,
Yeah.
I commend him for that. Um,
So
However, something occurred where he was arrested and for a carjacking at a car dealership. But we don't know exactly what happened. However, but that has happened to him, and I hope he rebounds from that and continues to fight because his skills weren't that eroded, and he always is a good mouthpiece and representative
yeah.
for boxing, especially after what he's gone through with his situation with uh, performance
Right.
substances. So
Right.
I thought he was on a great plane going forward, even though he had the loss. He garnered a measure of respect. He didn't look
Yeah.
bad. He's got tired, and I'm
Yeah.
just really surprised this kind of thing, rears his head. I
Wow.
hope he gets it behind him quickly.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's unfortunate. I hope he does as well, man. And what's this business with Bernard Hopkins, man? Did you hear about,
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what.
Bill is always pretty vocal, and Bernard is still a fighter, of some note. So it's just kind of just man type of stuff. Bernard said, "Okay, well, having the back and forth, come with me to the bathroom." As in there's going to be some type of whatever. And Bill Haney was following him to the bathroom, and then when Bernard saw that he was following him, then Bernard stopped the movement toward the bathroom, and some type of physical altercation or push or something happened, and then that's where it was left. So I think it's brilliant on Bernard's part to start this type of back and forth early. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not he did it purposely or not, I don't know. But even if it's by chance, it's brilliant because that is just really hyping the situation. Because I've always looked at Bill as a wonderful father and trainer, and always
Yeah,
had his
for
head on.
sure.
But
For
he
sure.
came from the record business, and I was in the record business, and I know what he's thinking about. I mean, he worked with a major label. I did too. So we know what the mandate that they use to promote. And
Right.
he has subtly used this type of thing with his work with his son, and I see it. And I was recognizing as a record company record company
Right.
promotion, and that's what he does. So he's in it, and if Bernard is really using his mind to promote the fight too, I think both pieces are brilliant. There's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of different angles of the situation. There's a lot of speculation out there. It's just
Right.
well done.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I thought, it appeared to me that Bill Haney was actually provoking Hopkins in a very subtle way. So it was kind of interesting how I read into what was going on there. but nevertheless, bad press is good press in that case, and there's going to be a lot more to come from that.
Yes,
Down
yes.
the line, man, there's going to be a lot more to come, and listen, Harold, it's been a
Isn't
great
it beautiful? That's
episode.
beautiful. It's just
Yeah,
beautiful.
it is beautiful, and you know. The, Anyway, it's been wonderful being with you. Thank you for tuning in. We're right about an hour into the broadcast. Thank you for
Yes.
listening to the Boxing Breakdown. Thank you for being with us. You can follow us on Facebook, of course, right? You know that. You can get us on our YouTube channel at the Boxing Breakdown. You can also find us on Instagram at the Boxing Breakdown, and I just said Facebook, and you also got us on LinkedIn right there. So we are on every podcast platform, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, you name it, we're there. So go download our podcast, tune in to the over 110 episodes that Harold and I have done, and more to come. We're excited for 2024, and there's going to be an amazing
Another good
podcast.
year.
I'm hoping we're going to have as good of a year as we had last year for sure. And until next time, man, peace and love, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Boxing Breakdown. Peace and love.
Peace out.
Yes.
Fight fans, join host Mark Roxy and special guests as they break down all aspects of the boxing world, including news, business, management, training, promotions, fan reactions, upcoming events, matchups, future boxing stars, title fights, state of the boxing world, and all the stuff you don't see when you watch boxing. This podcast is released each week on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live streamed on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook Live. It's the Boxing Breakdown, hosted by Mark Roxy.